Children's Real Estate Investments will teach you how to build wealth through real estate. Learn step by step how to become a real estate investment empire through wholesaling and flipping residential and commercial properties. Be a boss, take over the block by becoming a real estate investor. Learn more at www.earlchildrens.com.
Hey, Ray, hand me that AR.
You are now listening to Off the Rip.
Off the Rip, hardest podcast out right now. It's your boy Earl The Artist.
Let's get it. We got OTR staff here, man, and we got two special guests here with us. Introduce yourselves.
Pep Stanciel, shout out Go Live, shout out Off the Rip, shout out the label. You ain't shit, no lame shit, man.
I'm Champj. And shout out to my son, Ben Raw. We in the building.
Go shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we wanna start off, Pep. How did all this come about to Go Live, from the AAU teams to the school to just the glow up, the blow up, whatever you call it? How did it all come about so fast?
Before we get into all that, who is Pep for the people who don't know?
I'm just a casual guy, honestly.
Come closer.
I'm just a casual guy for sure. I'm from St. Louis. I've been up in Columbia, played at Columbia College, and then after graduating and playing ball, went overseas and played in Germany. And after that, it was just kind of time to switch lanes. You know what I mean? I knew I had to do something different. I wanted to do something different. My whole life, I kind of knew that I wasn't gonna work for nobody else.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Not insulting anybody that do. I just personally knew that wasn't for me. I feel like I had a bigger purpose. Feel like a lot of people always ask me why I quit playing so early. I just feel like my journey was different. I was destined to touch more lives than just my own. So it was time to put the ball down and kind of switch lanes.
That's what's up. So who is Champj?
It depends on what rim we talking about, but in this particular space, been coaching for like the last 20. Okay. And as I was on my exit, Pep was on his way in. Mm-hmm. And we made a merger and exchange. I gave him my group of kids, and we kind of married it. And here you go. I think he the biggest in the game. I think he the biggest, period.
Thanks. That's
Yeah,
love.
it's kind of crazy when you hear the term only the family and all that. Like, Champ's definitely family. He coached my other brother. So, you know what I mean? He was always around when I was just a little kid, bad as hell, running around, you know what I mean? He's somebody I act, let me get $1, you know what I mean? So I kind of grew up under him, watching my older brother play. And when it was time for me just to make that switch, it was just perfect timing. He already had a group of kids, and he called me. Like, I was a GA at Central Methodist at the time, and he was like, Pep, it got to be you. It's Tom. And I was telling him, I'm like, I don't know. And one day I just called him like, come on, I'll be there next week. And then from there we took off.
Hold up, but tell them, because they think it really was like that. The city think it was like that. That's where the little controversy came. Really, I did hit him first, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
And then I remember he hit me back. I'm like, bro, I got somebody already in this space. I just can't let him go, even though my heart wanted to let him go. But from a moral point of view, I couldn't just push dude out the door. Right. He got, you bullshit. I'm like, bro, I'm not. But I called you, you wasn't on nothing. So then opportunity came with dude kind of hung himself. And had dude not have did that, we wouldn't be here right now, swear to God.
Funny how life works, huh?
Yeah.
You took the opportunity and just ran with it. So let's get into the school situation. What made you want to open up a school?
I never had a dream of opening up a school. That's never been something that I dreamed about, thought about, discussed, or nothing. But what I realized through my journey of being an entrepreneur is so much I learned outside of school. Like college, I tell kids, that's what we learn all day. Go to college, get good grades, this and that. But let's be totally honest, respectfully, college didn't teach me what I needed to know. And that's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I bumped my head so many times outside of the classroom in this business world, working my way up. So when COVID happened and kids started going to school online, when we talk about making the most of our opportunities, I'm like, man, we can get in the gym. Let's get in the gym.
Heck yeah.
So I brought an elite group of kids in the gym that I already trained daily. Like, I'm going to take 12 of y'all. Let's work. So we was coming in 5:30 Monday through Friday, working to 7 o'clock. Then they was logging in, doing their schoolwork in the gym. They was doing their schoolwork about to 12. Then we got them hooping with the older men that come in and play. Then they go back and finish their schoolwork. Then we train again and then hit the weights. This was all during COVID. So after about 2 months, I'm like, bro, this was next. Yeah. Like, this was next. They getting their schoolwork, everybody grades sustaining, but the jump that our kids was making on the court was like major. Like we was seeing it, like these kids was really getting better because we was able to have all this gym time. But more so than that, when you talk about education, the human interaction we was really having and being able to really teach them real life lessons. Like, no, you got to do this work first. And it's different when it's coming from a teacher, when it's coming from somebody they can actually feel and see and connect to. Right. I listen to the same music they listen to and that type of thing. So it's different when I'm like, nah, bro, yeah, you might not, this assignment might not apply to your life, but in reality it do, because we talking about discipline and having to do the things that you have to do in order to do what you want to do. So I'm like, man, let's open up a school. Yeah. Let's open up a school. Let's tie it in together. And when we open that school, it's like, I want people to understand that this is different. This ain't your traditional education. We gonna get real life lessons here. We gonna let these kids bump their head early and build the confidence to where they got options. It ain't just college or nothing. Right. It's like, man, I learned enough here to really apply this in real life. So, you know, I went on and told everybody, like, yo, I'm starting a school. You know, Champ was one of the first people I called. And it's just like with everything. People like, oh, you crazy. Or, what most people ask is, how you going to start a school? I'm going to start a school.
Yeah. Hey, and to piggyback, like, just being in the community, I know 1,000 guys. You know, that's an exaggeration, but I know 1,000 guys with this vision. Maybe it looked different than his, but it's the vision. Start a school. You start a school, of course, you're thinking business, but then you're thinking about, ultimately, you starting a school because you don't just start a school. You want to start a school to help people. I know 1,000 brothers that right now, they said we're going to start a school. And when he called me during pandemic, I swear to God, you can ask my old lady, call my wife. When he called me, I remember exactly where I was at. He's like, Champ, I'm going to start a school. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, conversation was going. By the time I hung up the phone, called my wife and asked, I'm like, he finna do it. And that motherfucker opened up like a year later, bro. Like, was it a year later? Less than a year later? Something like that?
It was 10 months later. 10 months later. And, you know, I'm kind of humble about it. But as we wrapping up this school year, this is our first year. And as we really wrapping up, like, we really did that. Like, and I don't think people understand the challenges that we really went through, being able from convincing people to send their kids across the country. I had 3 kids from Missouri. Yeah. I got 0 coaches from Missouri. So getting them people to believe in me and believe in the vision to send their kids across the country to somebody that they never met before.
That's dope.
Like, you know what I mean? So that's how I knew we was doing something right. And for us to really be able to finish that with limited support, very appreciative of the people that have helped in any way, whether that's a retweet, a like, passing on a word, or giving me their blessing, or just praying for us in any way, because it was a challenge. And as we wrap this school year up, I'm going to continue to tell people, like, it wasn't easy. Yeah. And I think, sometimes we make it look easy than what it is, but it's been a lot of long nights, frustrating. Like,
let's talk about it. What's some of your challenges you had to overcome?
The first part, man, when you say Pep, the first thing people think of is basketball.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So getting people to realize that I was serious about the education part and serious about the entrepreneurship part. Mm-hmm. Prize Academy, which is the name of my school, stands for Productive Reward and Student Excellence. I don't want to just give a kid a diploma. No, I really want to give them a reward for doing excellent in the classroom. So when you graduate from Prize Academy, you're going to have an LLC, a sole proprietor, or a nonprofit. That's dope. Like, who's doing that?
Nobody.
Like, who's doing that? So we really giving these kids something back. And that was the hardest part to sell when I'm going to these meetings and I'm talking to people. I'm like, I want to talk about education. People want to keep talking to me about the basketball part. Like, respectfully, I do basketball. Like, I've been playing basketball since I was 4. Yeah. Like, I know the in and out of basketball. Like, it's nothing, like, I can speak on any topic of the game. I can tell you about any player. We can do this all day long. That's what I do for a living. That's something that I did know I was going to do. I always knew that. I didn't know I was going to open the school. So to sell the education part, that was the truest challenge. How you going to get these kids to make sure they're going to do their schoolwork? Like, what do you mean? It's not an option. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? That's not an option. They have to do their schoolwork.
1 sec.
Like, so getting people to believe in the education part, man, that was the biggest hurdle. Then outside of that,
Working on that.
funding. Funding was, with the first year of any business, really the first 2
Something went
years.
wrong. Please try again.
Sure, you're trying to hop in the podcast.
Man, with any business, you know, in the first 2 years, and like I said, I didn't know any of these things. You don't usually make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not that the school was to make money, but this school is expensive. Oh, man. It's expensive, and there's so many things that we didn't know going in that we had to move on the fly. And what people don't understand with the school, this was a no-lose situation. It's not a situation that, man, it didn't work out. And that's the part that was so frustrating at times because it wasn't just about me.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it was people in situations that maybe could have helped. And for various reasons, good or bad, they maybe chose not to. And if it was just me involved where I failed at something, I'm comfortable in my skin with that. Because we gonna get up, we gonna fight. Like, I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, so that's nothing. Like, I've never been embarrassed. Like, so that's easy. But when you talking about I got 30 kids with their future on the line who trusted me, that's a different type of pressure.
Heck yeah.
Like, that's real. Like, I ain't never felt that before this. That's pressure. Like, I ain't never felt no other. Like, basketball, we gonna win or lose. We gonna get over it if we lose, you know what I mean? But this, I couldn't lose at this.
Look, though, check this out. Like, and this with respect, so don't nobody see this and think it's a shot. But, like, how many calls I got, like, about the school period, and I ain't saying people want to hook up, but basically want to pick my brain in doubt. Really just trying to pick my brain, being curious, but really you want to know, should I trust the situation? Like he said, he got 3 kids from Missouri. We got a lot of kids who from here that went to other schools. Yeah. And we was right down the highway. So whether it was a thing about, whether it was, should I fund Pep or Pep's idea, or do I trust Pep? It don't matter. Like, 20-some kids came from another part of the country to the middle of Missouri to what he to fund his, they saw his vision and they rolling. And I think, I don't want to speak too much because I don't want to get the wrong numbers out, but a lot of them dudes finna pick up big scholarships. Am I correct?
Yeah, so we got 7 kids leaving. 4 of those kids are already about ready to sign or have options, and we still got to work on another 3.
That's impressive.
And respectfully, on the basketball tip, that's like, we got that. We got that in the bag. I think we have enough connections. I have a strong staff. And it's so crazy. People, they love to tell you what's going wrong. Facts. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people always want to talk about what's going right. And I stand by my staff so strong. Of course, now that it's popping and moving, yo, why you ain't come hire me? Hire me. I put the application out like a regular job. This man came from New York and got this job. And my respect for him is so high because he trusted me. He trusted me to come do the job. And could he have been better at times? Can we all be? But to do what he did this year with these young men with limited resources, because I promise you we had limited resources. Like a regular day for us, like when you talk about funding, they got to, just simple off the fact they got to eat every day. Like, you know what I mean? They got to eat every day. And that anybody that know me, I love working with people so much that I cheat myself at times when you talk about price. Look across the country. Look at the teams we played. Out of the top 25 teams, I think we played 17 of them. Those kids fully funded, man. Fully scholarship. I hate the fact that we had to charge our kids. Like, that bothers me. Like, because I know what these families going through. They sent these kids out here for an opportunity. You know what I mean? And it makes the job harder because when you send a kid across the country and you paying that money for him, and he may be not getting in the game as much as you may like, you don't feel like you're getting a return on your investment at all times. And that's just something that we can speak on as well. the playing time ain't always the investment.
Right.
Because if you send a kid to me, I think Champ, especially having kids around me or Champ, man, I'm invested in your child on and off the court. Like, my mom did a great job with me just explaining, always having a plan B and just being well-rounded.
Yeah.
To this day right now, I promise you I can play pro. Like, I can really do that. But
we done seen you feel me, on the ball of lights and all that. Still got it.
Yeah, like I can really, really play the game.
I was watching that yesterday.
Yeah, I can play the game,
Straight
but
killer.
I felt my purpose and was to impact more lives. I really feel like that. So my goal with these kids was find your purpose and use this ball to get it. Like, this ball can give you everything. I feel like I'm only 27, and to this point, I feel like I've been highly successful. Right. And I'm not talking financially anything. I'm just talking about with pursuing my dream, and that's impacting as many lives as possible. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been doing it. I wake up every single day and do something that I want to do. So my goal with these kids is find your purpose and then use all the tools in your life to attack that purpose. And my biggest tool has been basketball. Yeah. That's what brought us all together. Now, when we come together, what more can we do? What more can we bring to the world? And that's pretty much what's been going on.
Right. So as an outside looking in, one can say like, oh, you may know like all these NBA players, things of that nature. So as a person looking on what's it called, outside looking in, they'll be like, why you ain't asking your NBA homies like, what's up with this? So what would be a response to people that's thinking like that?
Yeah, a lot of people, like, I get that question at least once a week.
Yeah.
Yo, why you didn't ask none of the NBA guys that you acquaintance with, or that type of thing? And to be totally honest, what people have to understand, they're not obligated.
Yeah.
Will it be appreciated? For sure. They're not obligated. You never know what people have going on in their life at all. I think I'm in a position now to where people be like, yo, he got a school. Yo, let me get this, let me get that. Not understanding the bills behind all this.
Yeah.
Or what I'm building to do. Yeah, I might have $50. You might be asking me for $2, but what I'm trying to get costs $60, or it costs $45. I still need this $5 to continue to build because I'm working hard. But my biggest thing with that, man, if I'm being totally honest, which I have asked some guys. Mm-hmm. I won't say names on that, but I definitely have. And it's not, I don't think, like, you can't count people's pockets and you can't be mad at somebody for not giving you something financially. But what I will say, what Go Live is a platform. Mm-hmm. And how right now, me and you guys, we're sharing a platform. Right. So if I get to a position in life and I see you grinding and doing what you got to do, you can always use my platform. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I built it for. Yeah. So the kids, any kid that come up under the Go Live umbrella, if they doing what they supposed to be doing, for life, you can always use my platform. All you need a couple dollars, I got a tournament you can run. I'm gonna do this. Got some camps. Come holler at me. Let's put it on paper, get it in line. So it ain't always financially with me. My biggest, if I had an issue with any, tell me why you didn't then. So if I did ask you, and maybe you didn't want to be associated with it because you're not close enough to watch it every day, and you are a brand. So if I'm asking Champ, like, yo, help me out, tell me if that's not the case, he gonna tell me why.
Yeah, that's
like,
the thing.
Right now, I'm in a situation I can't, or I don't want to cross brand with this or this and that. So just let me know, and I'm man enough to understand that and accept that, because you're not obligated to do anything.
Obligated was the word, because on the flip side, and everybody need to learn this, as even if I ask you right now for XYZ, I have to understand too. First thing, this is my vision. God gave me this vision. Like this, what you doing right here, you traveling back and forth that you just told me earlier. God gave you that, so you can't expect nobody to understand your vision, no matter what they tax bracket say and none of that, because even that person, like, you heard Drake say you weren't with me shooting in the gym, so it's kind of like that. But no matter who, like, whether you want to use shit on you during the process, tell you no, turn you down, like, if God give it to you, you just keep nurturing it, keep watering it, it'll keep growing. it don't matter who don't see it. Like the race is not given to the swift, it's given to the one who endures. So just stay on yours. You know what I'm saying? So never be offended when somebody say no. It's almost impossible not to feel a way. But if you determine, it's gonna happen. Yeah. Facts.
You ain't gonna let it stop you.
So nobody's obligated, but yeah, it's a lot of lame stuff that happen behind doors, but just don't get too emotionally attached to it. Yeah. Just stay focused.
And that's crazy that you say that because I always, growing up, I mean, over the last 5 or 6 years where I've really been an entrepreneur, it's a thin line between what's personal and what's business.
Heck yeah, let them know.
I struggle with that. Like, that is something that I struggle with. What am I supposed to take as personal? What is I'm supposed to take as business? Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of people do something they ain't supposed to be doing that's against your principles. But in the business where you can't react a certain way because they want to trick you out your spot and do those different things.
Facts.
And I'm very humble. I think my aura sometimes offend people. I think how fast we've been moving sometimes offend people. You know what I mean? Where you can have people in higher positions maybe, but they ain't you. Yeah. You might got my money, but you ain't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't me. Like, respectfully, when I walk in the room, my presence is felt. But but it's love though. It's always love with me. I don't think I show people love throughout the day. Like, that's just what I do. Like I said, that's my purpose. And what I will say, I'm looking to change the culture. When they put me at the table, it's on. Like, it's on. If you doing right, this platform gonna provide for you, and that's my biggest vision. And I think as a city of St. Louis, as an African American culture, we just need more people at the table. Right. And when we get to the table, when you talk about I hate the term boss. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People like, no, I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I'm a leader of what I do. I got the confidence. I got the knowledge. I got the experience really now to be a leader. I don't want you to call me boss because I don't need you out there work. I want you to be able to sit here with me. If I can help you sit here, that's what I want to do.
For those who don't know, what's the difference between a boss and a leader?
In my opinion,
yeah.
I think of a boss as a dictator, man. Bosses. If you in the street term, maybe you know what I'm saying. Bosses, they only around other bosses. You know what I mean? Yeah. As a leader, I'm the one in the forefront, so I'm gonna take the good and the bad for us, and I'm willing to do that at all times. Like if it don't go right, I'm gonna take that. But when it go good, I don't need all the love by myself. Like one of my biggest pet peeves, man. I hate when I come back to like St. Louis or something, and I see people that has always been all love. I maybe ain't seen them in a while, and they only want to talk about me. Or they be like, yo, bro, Hollywood. Like, that bothers me because it's like, I get that a lot, but how? Like, I don't see it. Like, I'm really out here showing love, and I'm just busy. And that's just like, I'm out here like how your girl can sometimes get mad at you because you out here chasing this dream, this and that. But in reality, I'm feeling like I'm doing that for us. Yeah. Like, I'm out here doing this and that for, like, even though I live in Columbia, in my heart, I'm doing it for St. Louis.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, people don't want you to change. I know everybody watching The Fresh Prince, right?
Heck yeah.
So you saw when Boy came from Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Boy that left Philly.
Dude got mad.
He put that on the line for his bro. Yeah. He pulled that out.
To help him.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was the realest part. Yeah. I'm indebted with you for life over that. Yeah. But then when I elevate and I'm removed from this situation that's really no good for us, and I'm elevating, and you know, like just like I had your back on the court, if I get up, I'm gonna definitely pull you. Yeah. But then you see me elevating, you think I'm leaving. I ain't leaving nobody, bro. But you really want me to be where I was at yesterday?
Heck yeah,
that's lame, bro. Like that's weird, bro. That's weird. So then in that situation, like, you're not obligated to that because you'll be a fool. He used the word trick you out your spot. That's something we always talk about. Like, you'll be a fool in that sense. Yeah. But you gotta elevate, bro. You have to.
And I know that's hard coming from St. Louis a lot of times. So, you know, the city show you a lot of love, but you know, with love comes hate. So have you feel like it's a lot of people that's like really, you know what I mean? Be real. Like, it's a lot of people that's mad at what you're doing because it is people that's not with the movement.
I take pride And I take so much pride in trying to pay attention to those that show me love. Like, that always meant a lot to me. Like, I'm going to appreciate those. You know what I mean? But, you know, you got closet haters. People that act like they want you to succeed, or, you know what I mean? But if you ask them why, like, if you ask somebody why you don't like Pep,
Can't even give you a good reason.
I think they're going to struggle to give you a legitimate reason, because I know deep down in my heart, I'm genuine. Even if I have maybe done what somebody considered to be wrong, it's always been genuine. And I got an open door policy. Like, you can act, you can confront me, you can come to me.
How about this, though? Who gets it right every time?
Nobody. And once you get to a certain point, man, like locally, I have reached a certain status, a social status, where I can't go on social media and just say exactly what I want to say anymore, because it can be taken out of context, or certain kids do look up to me and might not understand some things, or a joke, or I got to carry myself a certain way. You know what I mean? That is a real thing, and I own that. I'm okay with that.
I call that the penalty of leadership, where like somebody really doing you wrong, but you can't even lash at them because you got everybody behind you. If you spaz out, now they think it's gonna be okay to spaz out. It got to be a way you do it. That's crazy.
I think I have had some run-ins where people think like, yo, he don't respect the older generation, or he always knocking those that came before him.
Yeah.
Man, hell no. I really only hang out with older people. It's crazy. I got a initial friend group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of that, I hang with the older guys. I go hit because I'm inside. Like, I go.
So why
hit.
do people think that? Why do you think people?
Because
think
I done had a couple lash outs. I done had a couple lash out against some of the older guys because I'm a man of principle.
Right.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm not. And I treat you with respect. So treat me with respect. And I done had a couple situations where I was being disrespected, and I went to him or went to that person behind closed doors and tried to fix it, and the disrespect continued. So I reacted in ways that I reacted, and of course they gonna be like, oh, he young and wild, he's coming at me this and that. But the person, they know what they done, they know what they said, and maybe could I handle things better? Of course. Like,
or pull the rug up under you after they told you we got you on the day of this, and this. Don't show up. Don't open doors. You got 1,000 people showing up to an event. Don't even tell you they ain't in partnership with you no more at the last. Like,
yeah, and I'm comfortable with disagreeing. If me and you, I'm comfortable with disagreeing. I'm comfortable with having ideas. You can't grow without that. You can't grow without that turmoil. So everything that I done went through, I think, like, respect, I think it's almost that time to where I'm really about to make a major jump. I think over this last year, I really learned my biggest lesson.
Which was?
Discipline. It don't matter. It's 8 entrepreneurs in this room right now.
Yeah.
Discipline will separate each and every single one of us. I know we can all think back on at some point, like, bro, if I just been a little more disciplined.
Every time.
And that's my biggest thing. Me and Champ both got this issue of I can make it happen with a little nothing, and I can make it happen last minute.
on the fly.
On the fly, where that has got me in trouble now. You know what I mean? That has got me in trouble at times because I trusted that instinct. But in reality, I got here, but I could have been here if I'd have been disciplined and planned more and planned it out.
Put it on paper.
Yeah, so discipline, man, it'll take not just me, it'll take all of us, it'll take our community to a whole nother level that, you know what I mean? Like, I used to, man, I ain't gonna lie, I done seen a lot of money. And that's part of the reason I want to open the school too. And we talk about entrepreneurship. And I'll be telling these young boys, like, hey, nah, I know why you did that. Yeah. I understand 100% why you made that choice. I did it too. And if you can be disciplined here instead of spending it here, or instead of making that decision here, just keep building, stick with it. I think in our community, what we do a lot of times is, man, I'm trying to get $1,000.
Fast money.
We find a way to get $1,000. But instead of acting like we didn't get that $1,000, we go blow that $1,000. And then be like, man, man, if I would have had that $1,000 right now, I would have did this, this, and that. We go get it again. And we repeat that process instead of putting it up or finding ways to flip it, to grow it, to invest it, and do it over and do it over. And don't get bored with success. For some reason, our community, we get bored with success. And we shouldn't do that.
We ain't never had no examples of what it really looked like.
And that's exactly what Prize Academy is. Why we gotta wait till we graduate high school?
What would be some advice you would give to somebody that's trying to start a school?
Oh.
Not even that, though. Just trying to do, like, all the little stuff, too, like, with the AAU teams, with the training. Like, get your in-depth on all of that.
You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to understand that you can go a day, you can go a week, you can go a month without making $1. What you do it for? So don't get in this just for the money. I ain't in this, none of this for the money. I'm in it for the purpose. My thing is, in 10 years, Prize Academy, how we struggled to find funding this year, we gonna be funded by kids that went to Prize Academy because we building monsters. Like we building warriors. So that's my goal. So I ain't in it to get the money now. I'm in it to build the next man up.
That's the key.
To build it up. If I help build y'all up, let's say we randomly get X and so many numbers tonight. Y'all blow up. You thinking that I need y'all for something, y'all wouldn't help me?
Heck yeah, we gonna help.
Yeah, come on, that's common sense. That's common sense, and that's understanding how the world works and all the good energy. So,
how it's supposed to work.
How it's supposed to work. So with that, if I can tell anybody, if you jumping off to any business, jump off to something that you know is what you want to do. You're going to do it with your heart. And if money wasn't involved,
would you do it?
Would you do it?
Real talk.
What about you, Champ? What's some advice you could give?
I got advice on life, bro. Just try to lead this place better than it was when you came. So, like, I wholeheartedly, anybody who know me, I'm all about giving, picking people up, lifting people up, providing opportunity. Honestly, it ain't never been about no money with me. So if I died today, and it's a fact, and I can say this on a silent tip, my funeral will be crazy packed because I impacted so many. I tell my sons both all the time, like, if I die today, people gonna look out for you just on the strength. And so with that being said, like, it's not a no from Champ. If you call me, like, bro, if I don't got it, I'm gonna try to figure out a resource. If I know you on something real, I'm gonna try to help you figure it out. So I just think that in general, like, as a people, as a culture, but especially as a black people, bro, like, and I ain't preaching, but this is real. Like, stop just making everything about you. Stop. Don't lose your ambition, but just stop making everything about you. Take time just to listen to another brother. Like, my little homie called me earlier today. He was tripping off a credit card. I'm like, bro, it's a step back. You finna go forward. You ain't in the streets no more. You know what I'm saying? You got your LLC. You got your truck, and it's just a credit card. You will bounce back. Oh God, like, we'll bounce back. But we lose our heads so much, just caught up in this material thing, and what we chasing. Like, nobody's there to comfort nobody. So, bro, you gotta, in my opinion, this whole thing, even with your idea of getting money, even with your idea of your business practices, you're supposed to be making it better for the next man. You're supposed to be making a stepping stone for the next man. You're supposed to be building a bridge for the next man. You're supposed to be making it easier for the next man. And I just think that's the purpose of life.
Yeah, and I think what people got to understand, young entrepreneurs, if you ask me after being in it for 5-6 years, what's the most important thing? It's time. It's time. It's not, that was part of the reason I wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I can control my time. That's controlling my destiny.
Right.
So, and what I really, really learned is it's better to have a team. You know the old phrase, they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, you go with a group. And that's true. And I explain this to the kids at the school all the time. Like, when I first started training, and people used to be like, yo, can I help you train this, and that? And I'm looking at it like, man, there ain't enough money to really cut nobody in yet.
Yeah.
I was looking at it wrong. I didn't understand the power in having a team. First of all, I can bring more kids in. But also, my team can run this if I need to go give my time somewhere else. So it's, and what people don't understand, if the business only works with you, it's not a business, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
If it only worked when Pep there, the Go Live training only works with me, that's not a business. Because if I die, the business die.
Facts.
So what am I gonna pass along? And I had to really understand that time is everything. Where for the next hour, I want to be making money on some property potentially. I want to be making money in stocks. I want to be making money training. I want to be selling some merch. Through that hour, I need to be looking at all that. You know what I mean? And so it's about controlling my time. If I want to be able to take off for a day or two, I can do that with comfort. And that's something that I'm chasing. Like, oh, yeah, I ain't going to do nothing today. I'm going to get up and just go out to eat with moms, see what my boys doing. So time is everything. I think entrepreneurs should be able to chase. That's what you should be chasing. How can I get the most time?
Leverage your time.
Preach on.
Yeah. So what you gonna do with your time? And I think as a young entrepreneur, you gotta chase time and chase a team. Who do you call and who can be real with you? Who can you be comfortable with? I can call Champ and say, Champ, bro, I'm fucked up. What you mean? Man, I owe this, I owe that, I gotta pay this. Who do you have that comfort with? If you got that comfort with that person, they should be in your corner. And if they don't judge you, where you can tell them like, man, I did this, and they don't judge, you know how real that is? You know how real that feel? If you got that, you're gonna be successful. If you don't got that, it's gonna be hard to get through them long days. And I can honestly say December and January, them was the longest 2 months of my life.
Why is that?
Because prior to that, if you go back to even during COVID, during December, the year before that, I come in on Christmas, I get mom 2-3 pair of shoes, get my sister a couple pair of shoes, all my niece and nephew. Like, we good.
Yeah.
We eat. You know what I'm saying? This year, it was a struggle. And not because I ain't had no money, but what I had to take care of with these kids, and I'm looking at this, and I ain't got it. And I ain't never been in no situation with this much pressure where I told you I can't fail. I ain't never felt that. And my mom, she know me so well. She asks me every day, yo, you good? She texting me more than normal. You know what I mean? And she texts me now, and I'm just hitting her like, yeah, I'm good. Because as a man, unfortunately, we don't like opening up about we ain't got it or it ain't working. Especially when I tell you, the whole world see me as in Pep's prospering. He got this. He popping. Pep verified on Instagram.
Yeah, they don't know what you're going through behind the scenes.
They see that blue check. And in reality, money's never controlled my emotions. Like, I'm the type of guy you would never know how much money I got or don't have, because I'm genuinely happy because I am living my dream. I'm living my purpose. But during December and January, like, we really behind. And this was the first time where I'm reaching out. Yeah. I'm really reaching out to folks like, yo, we need you. And if it was just me behind, it wouldn't matter. But I got the future. I got futures in my hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to have a strong team that can uplift you through that. And when I went through that, that was for the first time in my life, I really took a look and had to understand mental health. Which I never struggled with it, and I didn't really struggle with it in that time, but that was for the first time I had an understanding how some people might, who might not have a strong team, a strong will, as in I might have. So I see how they might be going through it. And I see how they might be considering things that they shouldn't consider. And me personally, it didn't get like that for me, but I was able to call Champ. I was able to call my mama. I was able to call friends and tell them, like, I ain't got it, like, man. And just being able to release that and have that team, and then them remind me, like, bro, you Pep. Yeah. Like, you gonna figure it out. And when I get that reboot, I wake up and I look in that mirror like, I don't know. Like, I don't woke up. Like, this, I'm gonna throw a number out there, like, no exaggeration. I done woke up on a Thursday and by Monday needed 40 grand and only had 12. Like,
You talking about some help? You need.
I'm talking about I done woke up and needed 40 grand on a Monday, and it was Thursday and only had 12. And I'm like, yo, what we gonna do? So like, just to give you an example, on a month of expenses for Prize Academy. Let's say we got 30 kids. So each day you looking at about $300 to feed them. So we eat on weekends too. This ain't like regular school. They live here.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? We feed them. We feed them 2 times a day. They get lunch and dinner. So this ain't like where you just go to high school. They get the little BS lunch. Mm-hmm. We actually feed these boys 2 times a day. So what's that? You do 30 times 300. You know what I mean? 30 times 300. That's what we feeding them. What's that, 9,000 or something like that? That's what we feeding them per month. Okay, rent. They all got their own room. They all got a nice apartment. We paying $300 per room. So that's $900 per apartment. On top of, we got to pay the coaches and the coaches' salary. I won't disclose what they're making, but they okay. Yeah. They're comfortable. So you got
Vans.
You got salary. You got food. You got rent. All right. We got to pay for classes monthly. You got to pay for classes. Those are 4 fixed costs, some things that you're going to have every month. You can't avoid that. Yeah. Right? Okay, we're a national team. For some reason, people were calling in on us getting our Misha license blocked this year. So, but although we did try to do it on the fly, we wasn't allowed to play Missouri schools this year. So every single game we played outside of 3, besides when we were playing prep schools, we're outside of Missouri. So we're having to load up 30 kids, 4 coaches, and a cameraman, and our shelf, so 36 people to go on the road. We playing games in New England. So gas to New England, you looking at $1,400 just in gas.
Talking about some paper.
And not only do we also still got to pay for them to eat on the way up there. And now we got to pay for hotels, although we already paid for rent back in Missouri. And we got to put 35 people in hotels for a week. Because we got to stay and play 3 and 4 games while we up here because we don't get to play back in Missouri.
Yeah. Y'all just ain't playing to play. Y'all playing to stay open.
And I ain't even know about all this behind the scenes. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I'm really, like, in shock.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So we getting there. That we didn't even calculate uniform costs, jumpsuit costs, basketball costs.
People don't even know to have.
So
you ain't count the main costs. Like you talking about the gas. You got to have vehicles to.
Yeah, the van. So we had to buy a van, and we were only fortunate enough to get 1 van at the time. So we was renting vans. So it was 2 months where we done spent about $4,000 on a van on 2 separate months to just travel. And that don't got nothing to do with you dealing with 16 to 19-year-old young man who hungry for opportunity, who frustrated, who hungry, who giving it they all, and they ain't always getting it back yet. You know what I mean? We ain't even talking about the mental challenge of these kids and what they going through. We just talking about what I'm dealing with. And so you giving me that. This is my first time around, so I'm looking at ways we can cut costs here, cut costs there. And I still got to run my training business. Right now, I got a kid at Missouri State, Isaiah Mosley. I never met a kid like him. Never. He's the first kid I started training. And if you ask anybody, I tell people all the time, that's the first NBA player I ever trained. And he's not in the NBA yet, but he's going. Because he's destined. He really put the work in. He showed me what hard work was. And so I still got to check in with him. I still got to watch his film. Amongst the other million clients that I have and fortunate enough to work with, I still call Champ and check in on him and check in on my family and friends. So sometimes when I don't answer that phone and miss that call, bro, I ain't avoiding you. I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with that. And then we not talking about now everything that happens in the school I'm responsible for. One kid put a hole in the wall. We already behind. Kid put a hole in the wall. Who got to pay for that? Oh, man, we get a flat tire. Who got to pay for that? Every 3 or 4 days, you don't even think about the little random cost. Hey, yo, can you put some money on the car for gas? Dang. You know what I mean? Like,
Come with a lot, yo.
it come with a lot, and people don't understand. What you looking at your monthly expenses is just outrageous. And what kept me going was my passion, like my love for it. Like, I got motivated by the challenge, honestly. The harder it got, I got hungrier, like, and I started carrying that on me. Every time somebody didn't help me, I don't want to say me, every time somebody didn't help us or look out, I got stronger. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to show you. Right now, my screensaver on my phone. I promise God.
Show the people.
Look, my screensaver on my phone, man. It's been my screensaver for months. My screensaver on my phone is an email from the richest donor, one of the richest donors. I'm not gonna name drop him. I hit him up. Like he give it out. He give it out to Mizzou a month. He give it out to a lot of people. Like he's been fortunate in what he does. And I emailed him. I'm like, yo, more business like, but long story short, I'm like, yo, this is our situation. We not looking to make no money here, this and that. We looking to get through this first year. Yeah. What you gonna can you look out? And he hit me back and he was like, no, I'm all in for the year. You got a tough journey ahead. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to accomplish that. Best wishes. Ooh. And respectfully, as I said, nobody's obligated to. Yeah. But he easily could have made it go away like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I felt it almost.
That motivated me.
I know that hit you in the
It's
soul.
been my screensaver for months. I look at that every day. Like, it don't matter what I'm doing. Once I swipe up on my text messages, I see that. And that's a daily reminder where I be like, he don't believe. He don't believe. He don't believe. I'm going to show him. I'm going to sit at the same table as him. I'm going to sit at the same table. And I ain't going to hold it against him. I'm like, right on. Appreciate that.
It's a few things. Earlier I stated like not giving to the swift, but when doers. Just imagine if he'd have broke on that. And we talked about leadership. It's all coming full circle. Imagine if he would have broke when 3 people told him no, like what he was dealing with in December. I remember. Just imagine if he'd have broke. How many people, the 30 kids, that all the people and the coaches, like dude left New York for real, bro. It's like he chasing his dream still. Yeah. Is he building his dream? Dude really chasing his dream to coach at whatever level. Like he's still hungry. Just imagine if he would have quit. So like that's the leadership that we talking about, and it goes back to what he started with when he said, "Would you do it if you didn't get paid for it?" That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So and that's like I said,
purpose.
When people come to me about my coach. How you gonna come to me about him? He in with me.
Man.
There's nothing you can tell. There's nothing you can tell me about him.
And for a long ride.
Yeah, like we locked in.
I appreciate y'all coming out, man. Y'all didn't drop so much game on us. I ain't even think about doing.
All that behind the scenes stuff is crazy to me. I feel like it's so much more to say. Also, we definitely gotta get a part 2 in the future. Appreciate y'all coming on the platform.
Before you leave, but how can the kids enroll into the school?
Yeah, you can visit prizeacademy.com. It'll have everything you need to know about the school, for us information, for us tuition, for us things that we do and all that. Also, if you're looking to train, you can look at liveactiontraining.com. And I just want to lead the kids on the basketball tip. Everything y'all want to accomplish is right there in front of y'all. And that's for us entrepreneurs as well. It's right there, and you can't accept no. Like I've been fortunate enough to witness it, dog. Like you just gotta go take it.
Take it in stride. So shout out y'all social. People can go ahead and follow y'all. You know what I'm saying? So they can tap in with and learn more about y'all.
I'm Pep_go live. PEP_GOL1VE. Yeah, shout out Go Live, the label. Like I said, shout out off the rip. Gang shit, no lame shit.
Hey, shout out to, and sometimes we forget this, but shout out to that group of kids that helped just build all this. The original crew, they know who they are, from Jamal to Lil Champ, Trey Sean, Big Body, KD. If I miss somebody, please don't let me do that.
J
Red, Bird, that whole crew, all the parents, like it's a family thing. Like, yeah, Pep the face of it, but it ain't no hate involved. Like, we all the core of this thing, but this is the guy. But shout out to them kids, man, because had they not kicked ass, like we wouldn't even been able to elevate. And we'll tell that story another day.
Sure.
But I'm Champ, CHAMP_J.
That's off the rip. We out.
Let's get it.